I saw a text on her phone. He's at his mother's funeral. The house is ours. I replied, be right back. Then I went home, changed the security codes, and put a no trespassing sign on the lawn. Her scream when the new alarm system went off. I, 36 male, buried my mother today. It's been a long, brutal 6 months. Cancer. You know the drill. My fiancée Naomi, 32, has been my rock. Or so I kept telling myself. She's been living with me for 2 years, ever since her freelance marketing business slowed down. The house is mine. I bought it 5 years ago. My mom, the woman I just put in the ground, gave me the down payment. It's my house. Every part of it is tied to her. I was not there. I was just a shell in a suit, shaking hands, accepting hugs from people I vaguely recognized, numb. We were at the funeral home for the service. I was in the front row, staring at the casket. Naomi was next to me, hand on my back, playing the part of the grieving, supportive partner perfectly. She thought I was too lost in my own head to notice. I wasn't. I saw her phone light up in her lap, tucked under her black dress. She glanced down, then quickly started tapping out a reply. She thought she was being subtle. She wasn't. From my angle, I could see the message she was replying to. A text from Reese, a guy from her meditation retreat she went to last month. Reese. He bought the family emergency story? I watched her thumbs move. Watched her type the words that will be burned into my brain forever. Naomi. He's at his mother's funeral. The house is ours. The house is ours. I felt nothing. The profound, aching grief for my mom was instantly replaced by something cold, something sharp and silent. It was like a circuit breaker flipped. I watched her send the text, lock her phone, and then sniffle, dabbing a fake tear from her eye before putting her hand back on my knee. I sat there for another 10 minutes, just breathing, in and out. Then I leaned in close to her. I forgot something at the house, I whispered. My voice didn't even shake. I need to. I'll be right back. She looked at me, her eyes wide with that fake, concerned expression she's so good at. Oh honey, of course. Do you want me to come with you? No, I need a minute alone. Okay, take your time, baby. We'll be here when you get back for the procession. I stood up, walked out of the funeral home, past my aunt, past my mom's friends, got in my car. I didn't drive home. I drove to the hardware superstore. I'm pretty good with tech, it's part of my job. I spent an hour in that store. I bought one high-end smart lock, the kind with a keypad, camera, and no physical key. One new smart hub for the garage door, the kind that invalidates all old remotes. One all-in-one 12-piece security system. Base station, 4-door window sensors, 3 motion detectors, and 2 external 105 decibel sirens. The Wake the Dead package. 3 large red and white plastic, no trespassing, violators will be prosecuted signs. A pack of heavy-duty zip ties. Then I drove home. The house was empty, quiet. My mom's unfinished painting was still on the easel in the living room, just as she left it. I gently covered it with a sheet. I got to work. I'm methodical when I'm angry. It took me 2 hours. The old deadbolt and handle? Gone. New smart lock installed. New 10-digit master code set. The garage door opener? New hub connected. Her car remote was now a useless piece of plastic. Sensors on the front door, the back door, the garage door, and the first floor guest window. Motion sensors in the foyer, the living room, and the upstairs landing. I plugged in the base station, hid one siren in the HVAC return vent in the living room, and the other under the stairs. I zip-tied the no trespassing signs to the front gate, the porch railing, and the side fence facing the neighbor's driveway. I logged into the new security app on my phone. I armed the system. Home. I drove back to the funeral home. The service was over. People were milling outside, getting ready to drive to the cemetery. Naomi rushed over, grabbing my arm. Leo, you were gone forever. I was so worried. Are you okay? Yeah, I said, my voice still flat. Just a lot to process. Okay, baby, let's go. We can ride together in my car. We drove to the cemetery. I stood there. I watched them lower my mother into the ground. Naomi held my hand. I felt her rings, the ones I bought her. We drove back to my house. She saw the signs first. She gasped. Leo, what is that? Who put those up? Did someone threaten you? Just being careful, I said. New security system. Oh, okay. Weird. She walked up the front steps, her car keys in her hand. She got to the door and stopped. Leo, what did you do to the lock? New system, I said, coming up behind her. Well, what's the code? Same as the old one, I lied. She punched in the old code. Beep, boop, beep. Access denied. It's not working, she said, her voice tight with irritation. You're so out of it, you probably said it wrong. Use your key. No keyhole, I said, pointing. Her head snapped back to the lock. What? Why would you get a lock with no key? What if the power goes out? It has a battery, I said. Well, call the company. It's cold. She was getting bossy. The fake grief was gone, replaced by entitlement. Huh, I said. Try the back door. Maybe that sensor is faulty. She huffed, marching around the side of the house, onto the back patio. She grabbed the handle of the sliding glass door and yanked it open. The second the door moved, the system activated. Beep, beep. The 30-second entry delay. Naomi froze. What is that beeping? Leo, what's happening? I stood on the lawn about 15 feet away. That's the new alarm. You have 30 seconds to enter the code. I don't know the code. You said the old one worked. My mistake, I said. You should know it though. After all, the house is ours. Her face, I will never forget it. The confusion, the dawning horror, the panic. Leo, what did you say? 10 seconds. Leo, turn it off. This isn't funny. The 30 seconds ended. The sirens went off. It was deafening, a piercing, shrieking, physical assault of sound. Naomi didn't just cover her ears. She recoiled, she stumbled back, she let out a raw scream that was completely swallowed by the alarm. My phone instantly blew up. The security company. I answered it, holding it to my ear. This is security company. We've detected an alarm at your residence. I yelled over the siren. Yes, I see it. It's an unauthorized person on my back patio. Her name is Naomi. She's trying to break in. Please dispatch police. Naomi, who could hear me, was now shrieking. Leo, you bastard, stop, tell them. I hit disarm on my phone app. The silence was sudden and violent. It left our ears ringing. Naomi was shaking, her face blotchy red, tears of rage in her eyes. Leo, what are you doing? She sobbed. Get off my property, I said. My voice was calm. The police are on their way to arrest you for trespassing. You can explain to them how the house is ours. I got in my car. I'd parked it down the street before we got home. I left her there, standing on my back patio, next to a no trespassing sign, waiting for the cops. Update 1. It's been 4 days. The funeral was a blur. This is sharp. So the cops came. As predicted, Naomi put on the performance of a lifetime. 2 officers showed up. A younger guy, Officer K, and an older woman, Officer Breyer. Breyer. Sir, what's going on here? We got a call about a break-in, but this woman says she lives here. He locked me out. I'm his fiancée. His mother just died. He's having a breakdown. He's not thinking straight. Officer, this is my house. I am the sole owner. I am grieving, yes, but I am not having a breakdown. I came home and installed a new security system. She tried to enter without my permission, and it triggered the alarm. Ma'am, do you have identification with this address? Yes, my driver's license. My subscription boxes. I've lived here for 2 years. This is the part I knew was coming. Officer Breyer gave me that tired look. Sir, I understand you're the owner, but she has established tenancy. Her ID is here. She gets mail here. You can't just lock her out even if whatever's going on. It's a civil matter. You have to go through the courts. You have to formally evict her. The illegal eviction. The trump card of every squatter. Naomi's face changed. The crying stopped, replaced by a smug, tear-stained smile. She knew this. This was probably her plan all along. Me. I understand completely, officer. I'm not trying to perform an illegal eviction. I was installing a new security system because I have proof that she was planning to give an unauthorized person, her affair partner, a key and move him into my home while I was at my mother's funeral. The alarm was an unfortunate part of that new installation. I showed Officer Breyer the text on my phone. He's at his mother's funeral. The house is ours. Breyer's face hardened. She looked at Naomi. Ma'am, is this true? Naomi, he's twisting my words. That was a joke. Reese is just a friend. Leo is paranoid. Look, this is a mess. Sir, you still have to let her in. We can't put her on the street. But, ma'am, I suggest you just get your things and go. I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. I helped decorate. I was prepared for this. Officers, I'm not comfortable being here with her, and I am not giving her the new security code. She can come in and pack a bag. Tonight, You can supervise, but then she has to leave. I will have my lawyer file the formal eviction papers first thing in the morning." The cops agreed. It was a compromise. They stood in the foyer while Naomi stormed upstairs, grabbing clothes, her laptop, makeup. She was throwing things in a suitcase. Naomi screaming from upstairs, "You won't get away with this, Leo. I helped pay for the groceries. That matters. You'll be hearing from my lawyer." She stormed out, dragging her suitcase. "This isn't over." She spat. "The cops gave me a card. Get that eviction filed and maybe a restraining order." The next day, the real entitlement began. I'm at my house trying to sort through my mom's condolence cards and my phone rings. An unknown number. "Is this Leo?" "Who is this?" "This is Riss. Listen, man, you need to stop this." My blood went cold. "You have my number." "Naomi's a mess. You're being a real monster, man. Kicking her out after your mom just died? That's low, even for you." Me. "Look, she needs her stuff. All of it, and her car. You changed the garage code. She can't get her car." "Her car, right? The silver coupe." "Yeah, you need to give her the code, and you need to let her back in. She lives there. She put 2 years of emotional labor into that house, that peacock blue accent wall in the den. That was her idea. You owe her for that." "Emotional labor." "Yeah, and we'll be by tomorrow at 10 a.m. to get the rest of her things, with a police escort. You better be there and you better let us in, or we'll have you arrested for illegal eviction and theft." "Theft, okay. 10 a.m. you said? See you then." I hung up and I got to work. "Call my new lawyer, Frank." I explained the situation, the text, the police report, the residency, Reese's threats. "Frank, they're blowing smoke about arresting you for theft, but the residency thing is a pain. We'll file the eviction. But we can be creative. The car, you said her car. Is it in her name?" "No, it's in my name. I bought it for her. She was supposed to make the payments. She hasn't. I've been covering them for 6 months." "Leo, you're a good man and a bit of a fool, but this is good. Call the bank now." I called the finance company. "Hi, my name is Leo. I'm the sole owner of a coupe model." "Yes, I need to report it stolen." "Stolen? By who?" "By the person I allowed to drive it, Naomi. She has refused to return it. She is no longer authorized to drive my vehicle. Please retrieve your asset." They were very helpful. A repo order was filed immediately. I called a 24/7 moving and storage company. "Hi, I need an emergency pack out tonight." "Yes, the whole guests portion of the house. Price is not an object." The movers were at my house by midnight. They were incredible. A team of 4. They packed everything that was hers, every piece of clothing, every bottle of shampoo, every live, laugh, love sign, every dead plant, the ugly lamp she loved, even the half-empty cans of peacock blue paint from the garage. By 4 a.m., her entire life was in a 10 by 20 climate-controlled storage unit. I paid for 1 month. At 4:30 a.m., I was sitting on my porch when a tow truck rolled quietly down my street. I hit the new garage door opener. The door opened. They hooked up my silver coupe, and 5 minutes later, it was gone. I reset the alarm, locked my new lock, and went to bed. At 10:15 a.m., my phone exploded. I was at a coffee shop, drinking the first decent thing I'd tasted in a week. A dozen missed calls. Voicemail from Naomi, a shriek I could hear even with the volume low. "Leo, you son of a, where is my car? My car is gone. The repo company called me. You did this. I'm at the house and the garage is empty. Where is my stuff?" "Leo, I am calling the police. You are going to jail for grand theft." Text from Riss. "You are a dead man. You stole her car and her property. The cops are on their way back. You are so screwed." Then the call from Officer Breyer. She sounded exhausted. "Mr. Leo, I'm back at your house. Miss Naomi is here. She's very upset. She's claiming you've stolen her vehicle and all of her personal property." "Afternoon, officer." "No theft. The vehicle is owned by me." I was no longer comfortable with her driving it and reported it to the lien holder, who retrieved their asset. As for her personal property, I was concerned for its safety. I had it all professionally packed and moved to a secure climate-controlled storage unit. I'm happy to provide you with the address, the unit number, and the key code. A storage unit. Yes, ma'am. I wanted to protect her belongings while we handle the formal, legal eviction you advised me to file. This seemed like the cleanest way to separate our property given the circumstances. Ma'am, he didn't steal it. It's in storage, and the car was repossessed by the bank. I could hear the scream through the phone. It was glorious. Repossessed? On my credit? He's ruining my life. Me. Officer, I'm currently with my attorney. If you have any more questions, you can direct them to him. His name is Frank, lawyer's last name. I hung up. I finished my coffee. The legal battle had officially begun. Final update. It's been 8 weeks. The eviction process was a slog. The lawsuit was worse. Oh yes, they sued me. As soon as Naomi got access to her storage unit and the bill for the next month's rent, she and Reese lawyered up. They filed a civil suit for illegal eviction, tossed out. Frank showed the judge my texts, the police report, and the filed eviction papers. The judge ruled I'd taken reasonable steps to secure my property after a threat. Conversion, tossed out. I had the storage unit receipts and the repo confirmation. Her lawyer hated that. Promissory estoppel and intentional infliction of emotional distress. This was the one they hung their hat on. They claimed I had promised her a life, that the house was ours, they used my own words against me, and that she had contributed significant non-financial value to the home. The peacock wall was mentioned. I am not kidding. They wanted $50,000 and for me to pay the deficiency on the repossessed car, which had wrecked her credit. This is when it got dirty. First, Naomi's mom called my aunt, crying, said I was destroying my mother's things in a grief-stricken rage, that I'd thrown out her unfinished painting. My aunt, also grieving, went into a full panic. I had to FaceTime her, walk her through my house, and show her the painting, still covered and safe, just to calm her down. Using my mom's memory, it was vile. Second, they called in a wellness check on me. At 11 p.m., claimed I was suicidally depressed, unstable, and a danger to myself. 2 cops had to come into my home, look around, and ask me if I was okay. It was humiliating and a clear attempt to paint me as unstable for the civil case. My lawyer, Frank, was livid. This is harassment, plain and simple. They're trying to leverage your grief. We're not playing defense anymore. This is when Frank did something brilliant. He filed a motion. He argued that Naomi's claim of destitution, that I'd left her homeless and penniless, was fraudulent. Why? Because she had a new partner, Reese, who was clearly supporting her, as evidenced by the house is ours text. Frank subpoenaed Reese, not for testimony, for his financials. We argued that if Reese and Naomi were a committed couple and he was funding her lawsuit, his assets were relevant to her claim of being destitute. The explosion was immediate. Reese's lawyer called Frank, screaming. He demanded the subpoena be quashed. Frank refused. 2 days later, we got a call. They wanted to settle. Immediately. We all met in a conference room. Me, Frank, Naomi, her lawyer, and Reese. Reese looked like he was going to be sick. He was pale, sweating. Naomi just looked angry. My client is prepared to settle this. She will drop the suit in exchange for $25,000 and you assuming the car loan. Leans back in his chair. No, here's our offer. You drop the suit with prejudice. You both sign a non-contact, non-disparagement agreement. And we won't send a copy of this subpoena and our other findings to Mrs. Wife's name. Naomi's head whipped around to Reese. Who is that? Reese went from pale to green. His lawyer put his head in his hands. Reese, who is that? You can't. I can. She's not party to this suit. But she is a party to your marriage. And since your joint assets are being used to fund this, I'd say she has a right to know where the money's going and who it's going to. Reese was married. 10 years. He was cheating on his wife with Naomi, just as Naomi was cheating on me with him. The house is ours wasn't just about them moving in. It was about Reese leaving his wife and moving his new life into my house. You're married? Ignoring her. Drop the suit. Drop all of it. What? No. Reese, he's ruined my life. My credit is shot. I'm living on your couch. Stands up, slams his hands on the table. I said drop it. The suit was dropped, with prejudice. They both signed the NDA. I heard from a mutual friend what happened next. Naomi, in a fit of rage at being used, blew up Reese's life. She called his wife. Emailed her everything. Reese is now in a divorce that I'm sure will be 100x worse than my little legal spat. His wife, apparently, is a shark. Naomi is screwed. She has no house. Her credit is in the toilet from the repossession. She has no Reese. She has no $50,000. She's apparently back in her hometown, living with her parents. It cost me about $20,000 in legal fees and movers. It cost me the woman I thought I was going to marry. It cast a shadow over the worst day of my life. I'm not happy. I don't feel like I won. I'm just here in my house. It's quiet. I sold the peacock blue paint on a local classifieds page for $20. And yesterday, I finally took the sheet off my mom's painting. I sat in front of it for a long time. It's unfinished, and it always will be, but it's safe. That's all that matters.